Greeting and welcome to the Intensive Success Growth. I'm your host, Nishant Sharma. Please give warm welcome to our guest, Mason. Mason is helping marketers to grow their business and their career. So welcome, Mason.
Yeah, happy to be here. Excited to chat today.
Okay, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
So the biggest thing that I am doing that I think would be relevant for your audience is helping other marketers grow their career. So, and the biggest thing that inspired me, quite frankly, was when I was laid off as a result of COVID, there was just incredible kindness of quite a few people, specifically some recruiters that just really went above and beyond to help me land my next role. So when I experienced that, I recognized that it did take me about 4 months to land back on my feet, and I wanted to help others land more quickly than I had the opportunity to. So the biggest thing that I think would be relevant for your audience is that I help marketers land in new roles, and that's just a passion project of mine through the Marketing Ladder, which is a podcast that I host personally. So the inspiration there was really just a for lack of a better word, a group of strangers online that helped me land a new role, and I wanted to be the same for others.
Okay, great. What are the top 3 reasons why do people fail?
The top 3 reasons that people fail, I think the standard kind of cliche answer to some extent is they don't try in the first place. There's a genuine fear of failure, but in order to actually grow and find any level of success, you're going to have to do something that you're not good at. Anything worth doing is worth doing poorly for a time. So I think that the starting reason is they don't try. On the flip side, there are people that can't make their minds up and they try everything. And as a result, they never actually do any one thing particularly well. So as a result, they've gone an inch deep on everything in their life. But true growth and success happens when you've gone really deep into a specific area of expertise. I mean, that doesn't necessarily even have to be in the grand scheme of like business. I mean, you can go really, really deep into specifically marketing to find great success there. But I even think about building sustainable, great relationships. Like you can't just have 1,000 friends. I think the best thing that I did for my own personal life was I picked 5 people and I said, these are my 5 ride or dies. I'm going to have really, really deep relationships with these 5 people. And that's really all I need. And my friendships and my really, quite frankly, most of my life is better because I've chosen to have really deep relationships with 5 people. And then the third reason is, I think, honestly, just a lack of general humility early to say, I probably need some mentors. And someone will try to walk the entire path by themselves. So if you can find a mentor that will actually help you and guide you and help you avoid the pitfalls that they faced, you'll actually find far greater success long term. But I just think that everybody should, in some way, shape, or form, try to find some kind of a mentor and have people wise to themselves that they can listen to and follow.
Okay, great. So what is your greatest failure story? What did you learn from it and how did you recover from it?
My greatest failure story, when I was laid off as a result of COVID, I ended up landing in a lending software company. And at that lending software company, I personally hate debt. I really don't enjoy the practice of lending. I don't enjoy the industry. I think that there are individuals that are incredibly malicious in that industry. And I just personally don't, I actually very much so hate debt. So to go into a company where I provided software that enabled people to do lending and to put other people into debt, quite frankly, I think was probably my greatest failure, period, because I sacrificed my own values to get a paycheck. And granted, at that point, I had been unemployed for for 4 months and like didn't have any other job prospects. So I don't fault myself for the mistake that I made. But if I could go back, I probably would have tried to have either held out a little bit longer or left that job far more quickly, because I ended up really falling very much so into a situation where I didn't find any level of genuine success, growth, development, joy. Like it was just a really, really sad time for probably a year.
Okay, great. So what are the top 3 success secrets that other can model from you?
I mean, the biggest thing is there's a balance, and it's everything in moderation. So I think you should try a variety of things and figure out what actually brings you some level of joy that you're also good at and can find success in. And then you hone in on that one specific thing or 2 specific things and really dive really, really deep into those specific areas. So step 1 would be identify what you actually enjoy and what you're good at. Step 2 was shed other responsibilities so you can focus on those areas of enjoyment. And then 3, I think that the greatest level of success is when you can start to truly teach others and help others grow in the areas that you have previously struggled for yourself. So the next level of success would be actually educating and bringing others with you along on your journey so that they can also find success.
Yes, right. To teach, you learn twice.
Yes.
Okay. What's your company motto?
We're here to enrich lives. So the biggest thing is we work with B2B companies that are genuinely revolutionizing their industries. So whether that be med tech or fintech or ed tech, or there's so many tech companies, quite frankly, but they are, by the nature of their products, they're disrupting things, they're making things better. So if we can help them actually execute great marketing because they've got great products, they will then, by the nature that they can get their products in the hands of more people, actually help and enrich the lives of their customers. So our job is to make sure that their products get in the right hands. And I think that is an amazing opportunity and calling to be able to impact millions of people through our clients.
Okay. How do you find your ideal client?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of ways. One, and I honestly think probably the most effective, is put out a lot of content where you suspect your ideal customers will be and make really effective content distribution, and they'll start coming to you because they'll resonate with what you're saying. And if you look at who's coming to you and you're like, these are not the right people, it probably means you're not putting out the right content. So you then need to either change the content or start working with people that are different than what you would have originally anticipated, and you can adapt. But the best way to identify your ideal customer is to create as much content that you think will be helpful to that ideal customer and then see who comes to you. The other way is just to look at your existing, if you have grown a business to some extent, you've got a customer base, look at your existing customer base and say, who do I enjoy working with the most? Who pays on time? Who seems to really align with us culturally? Who's like excited to have meetings with us? And are they profitable clients? And if you've got those things in line, figure out what trends you're seeing across a couple of different clients that have those things. Again, profitability, just genuine enjoyment of hanging out and doing stuff and finding success, and say, what is it about these series of clients, or what is it about like this subsection of our client base that is amazing, and how can we find more people like them? So those are probably the 2 best ways that I can identify to actually build out your ICP.
Okay, great. So how do you deliver 5-star client experience?
Yeah. So I, from a marketing perspective, do everything in my power to just create genuinely helpful content and information that will help anyone at any stage of their buyer's journey, because I'm literally just walking them through, this is what we've been doing and this is what's been working for us and our clients. Go for it. And a lot of people run with it, and it's been fantastic to see their results. Like, I'm super pumped about that for them. But as a result, we then also, for clients that are like, I understand you just walk me through how to do it. I still am not sure how to do it for myself. Like I understand the concept, but like the tactical execution, like I'm lost in that. So they come in having a very clear expectation of what they will get from us because we've literally been telling them in all of our marketing. And then from a very practical standpoint, have some really great onboarding processes that help them get to know our team and help us get to know them in really every way, shape, and form, from the individuals on their team, their business, their ICP, their content. And then we identify the areas of potential growth by doing an audit. And then we just continually improve the various areas of their business from a marketing perspective. And with some of our clients, we're actually helping them improve the areas of their entire business. So that's really what we do, is just identify their specific needs once they're in the door and continue to iterate with them so that they can continue to improve month over month.
What are your well-defined products or services?
Yeah, so the two big ones that come to mind would just be, we have a very clear product around website development. So we've got some things on our end. You can purchase a website theme that we built on the HubSpot content management system called Mojo Flex. And we also build all of our websites in Mojo Flex. So we're literally, again, giving people the tools. There's even a free version if you want to build like a 15-page website. We're giving you all the tools. But if you want us to do it, because for example, we had a potential client come in that needed like 1,000-page website. So like that's going to be really, really robust. They needed an outsourced agency to help them do that. So websites is a core offering. Then the other one is an ABM retainer, so account-based marketing retainer. So if you're looking to create scalable, sustainable growth in the B2B space, we will work with you on a retainer basis to, again, do that continuous improvement across your tech stack, across your strategy, across your content, across your sales and marketing alignment, like the mindset of your organization, to then actually scale and sustain your growth. So those are really the two core offerings. And then we do a lot of ad hoc projects based on individual client needs to get them set up for success in those two core offerings.
Okay. How do you handle rejections?
Honestly, from the marketing perspective, I put out so much content and information that I get rejected all the time. And that's fine. Like, my goal is not to today close every single customer that I would want to have. My goal is to help them move one step forward in their journey. And if I can help them move one step forward in their journey by the content that we create, by the advice that we give, by the events that we host, they'll eventually view us as the authority and they'll want to work with us. So I don't view rejection in any negative light, honestly. It's just they're not ready, but there's other people that are. So I'm going to focus on those people and get them to come into our pipeline and into our business, and we're going to help them grow, and then we'll build a case study out of them. And these other people that weren't ready will see, oh, that company just scaled 100%. We should probably go work with that agency to help them do it.
Okay. How do you crush your competition?
How do I crush my competition?
Yes.
I honestly don't worry about it. Like, what's been more funny coming into the agency world is I have more genuine friends at quote unquote competitors than any other area. And I honestly love to work with my competition for the express purpose that there's enough out there for everyone. I'm just genuinely not worried about it. But I mean, the other thing that we've done that I think has helped is we have a very clear product differentiation. Like, we are experts in HubSpot and an account-based marketing strategy, and those two don't typically go together. So by that nature, we've created a niche for ourselves, and there's not really competition in that space, in that very specific space. So if you're looking for HubSpot help and account-based marketing, we're not your only option, but we're the only really known option that's really out there. So I own my space, and I try to own it really, really well. And people will come to us, and if they aren't the right fit for us, I send them to my competition, because I'd rather them get the help that they need than me just try to constantly worry about what my competition is doing.
Okay. How do you start your day?
My wife is a nurse, so we get up pretty early. I typically am at my desk to start my day anywhere between 7 and 7:30. And I'll kind of do some day planning just to see what's ahead and make sure I'm prepared for all of those individual things. And around 8:15 to 8:45, I'll hop on LinkedIn, make a post and engage with a bunch of other people's posts and content and do that for about 30 to 45 minutes. Um, and then I'll move into whatever the rest of the day holds. So that's meetings internally. That is helping other marketers figure out how to grow their careers. I'm recording podcast episodes. I'm writing content. I'm editing content. Like I'm just creating a lot and building out strategy for kind of the next quarter and kind of organizing all of those campaigns. So the basic day is kind of it's always a grab bag, but it's always trying to do something that creates content that is helpful for our ideal audience.
Okay. What are you grateful for today?
Honestly, I say this every day, but my wife is the most encouraging and supportive individual. I am a massive nerd and she is a nurse and she doesn't understand most of what I talk about when it comes to how do you do marketing and scalable growth and pipeline and revenue and all those, all the acronyms. But I mean, she listens. So I'm just grateful that I have a spouse that actually cares about me and my success and wants to see me continue to actually love and enjoy my job.
Okay, so great. How young are you?
I'm 24, so just trying to help other people grow in their career.
Okay. You are not 24-year young. You are 18-year young with 6-year experience.
Yeah, I've been working probably actually since I was about 10. So, I mean, but there's a lot of ways you can frame it.
Okay. What's your plan to achieve your goal?
I mean, the biggest plan to achieve my goal would just be, again, continuing to help people, continue to grow their careers. Ideally, I would love to build some kind of a business that is a career accelerator for individuals. So the more I can help people accelerate their career today and understand the specific things that they're needing to actually accelerate their growth in their profession, then that's going to help me achieve my eventual goal. And whenever the time is right for me to go and build that business, I'll do that. But until then, I'm going to continue to help other people build their businesses, because in doing so, I'm actually learning a lot about what I want my eventual business to look like.
Okay. Who is your living mentor and what's the impact?
My living mentor would, honestly, I've had a massive emphasis for most of my life on having a mentor. My wife and I moved roughly 9 months ago across the country of the US. So in person, I really don't have a mentor that I can expressly say, like, this is my mentor for all things. But professionally, it's definitely my boss, Nicole Rose. She really challenges me a lot on that front. So professionally, I'd say Nicole Rose is my mentor. And then honestly, one of the areas that I'm looking for a mentor is my spiritual growth. I'm of the Christian faith, and I don't currently have someone that I can go and sit down and have coffee with, but I've got some friends that I meet up with every week to sit and chat about life and understand how we think the Lord is moving in our lives. So there's definitely some areas that I want to have more mentors, but professionally it would be Nicole Rose.
Okay, great. So in case you don't achieve your goal, how would you feel that?
I mean, whenever you don't achieve a goal, no one feels happy about that. But what I would imagine is, especially because a lot of my goals are 20, 30 year goals. They're very lofty goals. It's so cliche and cheesy, but there's a saying of shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. And quite frankly, I'm just so bent towards having lofty goals and chasing after them, because I know even if I don't hit it, there will be some amazing impacts and really cool stuff that will happen along the way as a result of trying to chase something so lofty and what seems difficult to actually achieve. So I'll be sad, but I'll be happy for what what does come of it.
Okay. What do you want to remember for?
I want to be remembered as, first and foremost, a godly, loving husband and a godly, loving father. And then third, someone that gave more than they received, that was so bent on pouring out, that didn't give much consideration to making sure that I was filled. I have enough people that take care of me that I want to make sure that others are taken care of.
Okay. How can we support you?
Biggest thing would just be engaging on LinkedIn. That is where the predominant audience that I have is. And that's where I spend a lot of my time. And then if you want to take a step further, go subscribe to the Marketing Ladder. The whole premise of that podcast is to help, again, marketing individuals grow in their career, and find success as they look to continue to grow their career.
Okay. Like, how did you feel on today in my show?
Could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Like, what would you like to say about your guest experience on this show?
It was good. I mean, I enjoyed the questions, and I thought it was a good experience.
Okay. What's your final word?
I mean, the biggest thing would just be if you are currently feeling stuck, because I know a lot of people that I talk to, a lot of the advice and insight that I can give starts with, you have a general idea of what path you want to head down. I would say that if I'm in your shoes, I don't really know what I love, and I don't know what I enjoy, and I don't know what I want to do, to continue to try things and to really go back to the basics of, in your life, what were the things that brought you joy? Even going back to school, I mean, thinking through the classes you found the most enjoyment in, and really breaking down, why did I enjoy these things? And then from there, you can actually get out attributes and characteristics and qualities that you would want to see in a job opportunity, in a profession, in a career, in relationships. And as a result of making that step back, you can then start to assess, knowing these things about myself, knowing that this is where I find joy, this is what I'm good at, what jobs match this. It's not going to spit out a job title of like, oh, you should go be a marketing director. Like, that's not how that's going to work. But then you at least have a framework and a foundation through which you can start to interview and say, okay, this hits on these things. I really enjoy these things about this opportunity, but this hits on these other things. And then you at least have something to weigh up against. Whereas if you don't do that exercise, you don't take that time, you just feel stuck and overwhelmed by the endless number of possibilities that you could take in your career.
Okay. Thanks, Nishant, for sharing your wisdom with us. On the behalf of our team and community, we really appreciate you. Until the next time, all good wishes to you.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me on.